The unconstitutionality of plea bargains in Texas. Plea bargaining is a common practice in the criminal justice system, where a defendant agrees to plead guilty to a lesser charge in exchange for a reduced sentence or other benefits. In Texas, plea bargains are used in the majority of criminal cases and are responsible for over 90% of all convictions. However, there is a growing concern that plea bargaining violates the constitutional rights of defendants. In this article, we'll discuss the unconstitutionality of plea bargains in Texas and the potential consequences for defendants. The problems with plea bargaining. Coercion. One of the primary concerns with plea bargaining is that it can be coercive. Defendants may feel pressured to accept a plea deal even if they are innocent or believe they have a strong case, because they fear the potential consequences of a trial. For example, a defendant may be offered a plea deal that would result in a shorter prison sentence than if they were convicted at trial. However, if the defendant goes to trial and is convicted, they could face a much longer sentence. This can create a situation where defendants feel they have no choice but to accept a plea deal, even if they are innocent. Inequity. Another problem with plea bargaining is that it can lead to inequity in the criminal justice system. Defendants who have the resources to hire a good lawyer may be more likely to negotiate a favorable plea deal, while defendants who cannot afford a lawyer may be coerced into accepting a plea deal that is not in their best interest. This can result in a system where the outcome of a case is based on the defendant's financial resources rather than the merits of the case. Lack of oversight. Plea bargaining also lacks oversight, which can lead to abuses of power. Prosecutors have significant discretion in plea bargaining, and there is little oversight of their decisions. This can lead to situations where prosecutors use plea bargaining to pressure defendants into providing evidence against other defendants, even if they are innocent. The unconstitutionality of plea bargaining. Due process violations. The use of plea bargaining in Texas has been criticized as a violation of the due process rights of defendants. The Due Process Clause of the Constitution requires that defendants receive a fair trial, which includes the right to a jury trial and the right to confront witnesses. However, plea bargaining often bypasses these rights, as defendants are not given the opportunity to challenge the evidence against them in court. Sixth Amendment violations. Plea bargaining has also been criticized as a violation of the Sixth Amendment, which guarantees defendants the right to counsel. While defendants who can afford an attorney may have access to legal representation during plea bargaining, those who cannot afford an attorney may not. This can result in a situation where defendants are pressured into accepting a plea deal without the benefit of legal advice. Eighth Amendment violations. The use of plea bargaining has also been criticized as a violation of the Eighth Amendment, which prohibits cruel and unusual punishment. In some cases, defendants may be pressured into accepting a plea deal that includes a longer sentence than they would have received if they had gone to trial. This can be seen as a form of cruel and unusual punishment, as defendants are essentially being punished for exercising their right to a fair trial. Conclusion. Plea bargaining is a common practice in Texas, but it raises serious concerns about the constitutionality of the criminal justice system. The use of plea bargaining can result in due process violations, inequity, and abuses of power. As a result, it is important to consider alternatives to plea bargaining, such as increased funding for public defenders, to ensure that defendants receive a fair trial and that the criminal justice system operates in a manner that is consistent with the Constitution.